Senator Manchin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, thank you so much for all your service and feeding America, especially the children. I appreciate it more than you know. I'm going to switch gears just a little bit based on rural America and what we deal with. You and your and all of your staff and everything, you do an awful lot more than just feed us. There's an awful lot of economic activity that goes on that sometimes people aren't aware of. And myself has not been until you and I spoke about what opportunities were out there. Here's the problem we have, sir. The Economic Research Service, I think was in your all's bailiwick, develops various codes and criteria to help define rural America. I look at it the way I look at it is about 66 million people live in what I would consider rural America. And currently there's no code accurately that captures the mountainous rural areas. It's much different. Mountainous rural versus agriculture rural is two different things. That's something we have not been able to see, and it's difficult for us to do anything as far as building towers to internet and all this, and delivering those services are so much more expensive. So the project was started in 2021, and as of today, we have not seen the Phase 1 published report. If you could give us any update on that, if you have it. If not, get back to me on that.
Well, I will have to get back to you on it, Senator, but I would say this is an ongoing problem in terms of the definition of rural. There are multiple definitions.
Oh, I know.
Which creates a lot of confusion and a lot of uncertainty. So we're happy to work with you on that.
As a former governor and serving, and yourself and I, we serve together, but as a former governor, you have a lot of ruralness in Iowa. You know, the problem that happens, I've seen it since I've been here 12 years, is when money's dispersed, whether it's in education, whether it's in health care, whether it's in agriculture, whatever it is, the rural areas do not get their proportionate share. So if there's 20% of the population that's classified living in a rural area, in my state, I don't have one town, I don't have one city bigger than 50,000 people. So I'm a state of towns, 1,800,000 people in a state of towns. But it's as rural as it gets. And it's as wonderful, as wild and wonderful, it's as wonderful as it gets, but they get left out. And we look at the national money that goes to rural America, it's only about 7, 8, 9% of federal funding. Because I guess showing the biggest bang for your buck is better if you have 1 million people versus 50,000 people. But the services are just as needed. That's the problem we're running into.
Well, they are, but there's also a contribution that rural America makes, a disproportionate contribution to our military.
Oh.
People often forget that a disproportionate number of our military come from those small towns in West Virginia and Iowa.
Appalachia, Appalachia especially. Let me go into this one here. President Biden requested another $400 million of the Reconnect program, okay, in his fiscal 24 budget he just put out. That's in addition to the $348 million we had in the last budget. And that is on top of the $2 billion in the bipartisan infrastructure bill. So we put billions of dollars out there. And what we're concerned about is, it's a mammoth for you all, I know that, but coordinating that effort to be able to administer, working with FCC, NTIA, and Treasury, how is that going, or where is the stumbling block?
I'm pleased to tell you that by this summer, we will have all of the bill money, the infrastructure money obligated. And the reason for that, we really have spent a lot of time trying to do this so that it will complement the work that will come next by NIT, NTA, and the Commerce Department and the FCC, because we want to basically use our resources to upgrade as best we can the unserved and underserved areas so that they have meaningful broadband. And then as the mapping gets completed, we'll then know where the real serious gaps are, which then will provide the resources under the infrastructure law for commerce and so forth to be able to invest through states. So we are coordinating. We're making sure they know where we're investing the money so that they are not, we're not overbuilding and not duplicating.
Well, let me just say in closing, I sincerely, in my lifetime, I've never seen anyone that has as much knowledge as you and as much experience in this job, coming from where you came from and also the state you represented, to being in this position and the amount of years you were before. And one and done was not enough for the public service you're giving. And I just thank you because you can help us so much, every one of you all. I call him Tom, but I call him Governor and I call him my friend. he knows more about how to help your areas as far as in getting other than just the feeding of America, but basically economic development. There's so much that they can offer in that office that we're just not accessing. So thank you, my friend.
Sir, appreciate it.